Story time. So my man who delivers to me, I used to hop in that car. We used to dap up, talk for a while. Of course, since Corona, he is very scared and is still very frightened. So I can't get in the car anymore. We don't dap up anymore. Uh, we don't really talk like that now. Right now, I just hit him up when before we had a friendship type thing. But now it's dangerous to have a friendship. Funny thing is, though, he's been so scared. It was only this recent time that he asked me if I had brown sugar. And I made a joke like, "Oh, you're not scared of dying from this virus anymore?" And he said that he read in a study that you can't catch coronavirus through eating it. I repeat that. He read you cannot catch coronavirus from eating it. I don't know if you remember the main narrative for coronavirus, but when I took the poll, most people agreed with me that they heard it came from a woman eating a bat. So we went from this virus all started from one woman in China eating a bat to the CDC now supposedly saying that you can't catch it from food. The article, because I told him to send me it, where I was just like, so you're saying you can't, so if I touch you, I'll catch the virus, but if I eat you, I'm okay. And he's like, oh yeah, because it's because it's different systems. The way the article explained it makes sense. And I was like, does it make sense to you? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, man, this world is so lost. So what these white supremacists have done is teach you in school that a virus, here's the idea. This is why the video I just posted is so important, for you to see how the ideas that you believe in will then allow people to create problems for you that need a solution, but the conclusion is only ever good for them. The idea of a virus in general being a thing, now like what they're using, they're weaponizing it, where they're able to just throw out infinite information. That should be the biggest red flag in the world to just anyone with critical thought, to go from, oh, one woman in China ate a bat, so now everyone in the globe is dying from a virus. Oh, but don't worry, you can't get it from eating? Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. They're playing everybody like this, and it's all reliant on people making the lies make sense. If you just got out of the idea that you are weak and that you can get sick from things that aren't even real, then they aren't able to rope you around like this. But because most people in this world have been indoctrinated, they've been conditioned to hate themselves, they've been conditioned to think that their body is weak, they've been conditioned to believe that a stranger knows more about their body than them who actually created the body, because they are conditioned to think they didn't even create this body. This world is fucked. This is why these videos that I'm making, very, very, very important for you to observe your own thought pattern and see how you are creating a certain life, a certain realm for yourself based on the ideas that you believe. And how if you're believing in ideas that someone else gave you, you are effectively building their world. Everyone who believes in this virus and is making all this bullshit make sense in their world, they are building the world of the people that made them believe in the virus. They're not building their own reality. This is also why it's just better, no matter what your opinion on the world is, just be in full introvert hermit mode. I've been in full introvert hermit mode all year, and it's beautiful. It's lit. This is what spirituality is. You can only fully get spiritual when you're in your own space. The more you're interacting with other people, the more you become those people, the more you relate, right? You're sharing thoughts. So this is why, like, you are the 5 people that you spend the most time around, because their thoughts and their emotions low-key become your thoughts and emotions, right? Like, we all know what it's like to talk to someone who only talks about negative shit. They only talk about problems. And then over time, you're also thinking about those problems. You're also talking about them. And at some point, you can start to manifest them in your life because you are in the same frequency, aka the same spirit, the same space as the spirit who is creating these problems. So by sharing space with the spirit that is creating problems, you start to create roughly those same problems for yourself. And this is what is big time happening, where all these ideas that people believe in have them creating problems. And the more they interact with other people, the more those problems become other people's. Like, you can be all high and mighty about this virus not being real, but then let your family say that your grandma got it, right? Now, what are you going to do? Are you about to be the person who looks super negative, but you stand in your truth and you say, yeah, grandma, I love you, but the doctors lied to you? Because the issue, people keep taking this shit personally. This is what we're talking about when we say, what you believe in is your soul. So anything that someone believes in, although, especially if they didn't personally create it, religion is a great example, right? Someone didn't create Christianity, but if they believe in it, they take it personally. So if you criticize their religion, they take it as a personal attack because they chose to make it personal to them. It says nothing about you. Again, life is always a reflection of ourselves. Whenever someone's talking to you, it reflects how they talk to themselves. And if you're talking to people who are already creating problems and pointing out negativity, which is most people in this world, sadly, like, it's hard to get through a conversation without people making things really negative. And like, you kind of just listen to that and you're like, cool. And you can like bring it up to a positive note. But this realm, I mean, capitalism especially, thrives on people thinking negative thoughts because those are problems, right? The negative part is the problem. Like when I'm showing you the square, the problem is the negative side of the equation and the conclusion is a positive side. So the idea and the solution are both the balance. They're the equilibrium. I'll probably draw out another graph. Because for you to believe in an idea, that's already equilibrium, but then you need that negativity, which is the problem, to be thrown off balance. And then the solution is back to balance, back to the idea being stable again, but then the positive result from that problem being equalized doesn't come to you. It comes to the person who created that idea. So if you did not create the idea that you are putting your soul into, that is how you are building a realm. You are building the imagination of the entity that wants you to believe in that idea. Great example for an idea is, I mean, science in this case, right? So my dealer believes that science is always right. And science is going to always be right and be better than him. So now it doesn't matter how many times science is wrong. Like we see science is wrong constantly. Like they talk out of their ass most of the time. And they just rely on making you believe in the idea that they're right first. That's what we've seen with science for centuries. In how they literally just make you believe in them first. So that anytime they put out wrong things or just wrong information, you know, like black people don't feel pain like white people, so you can enslave them and work them in the fields harder and longer. Black people are not human. It's backed up by science. This is literally what this country's built on. Most of you just don't know because school's not trying to teach that. But this is what science is mainly used for. Like, it's all agendas. It's always about you looking at the idea of who created this idea and what conclusion energy are they benefiting from it. Science has a lot to benefit and has been from making people believe that they're always right, even though they're not. So that's this just became like a whole video. This is honestly supposed to be 2 minutes maybe. Yeah, we're already at 9:30, baby. That's just because this is everything. This is literally how thoughts work, and this is how you build your reality based on the thoughts and ideas that you create from the main idea that you believe in. So whatever you put your soul into, that is going to be the part of infinity that you're going to experience. So if you believe in, you know, you're going to go to heaven or hell if you don't worship this man, then you're not going to experience anything else other than that. because you're creating that for yourself. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what the religion part, repeating legion, is just spirits going through the same cycles of behavior because that's what they're creating for themselves. And then because that's all they're creating for themselves for a certain time, they think that this is everything. They don't see how this exists inside of all of this. They're only experiencing this until some point in their life when their spirit hopefully wakes them up and they break out of that small circle to get into all of this. So, yeah, just know none of this coronavirus shit makes sense. They're making up everything, and most people are okay with them making up things because they believe in the idea that science is always right more than their own discernment. What you need to do is trust yourself. And I know that's like a whole exercise, especially because most people don't meditate. Most people would think that, especially in this realm, you're crazy for thinking that you could take a piece of information, meditate on it, and see if it's true. Like, our idea of evidence and proof is literally been given to us that someone else needs to tell us what proof is. Like, people really think that science, just saying that this thing is real, is proof that it's real. Although if you actually do a bunch of studies or Googling whatever into coronavirus, you'll see it's still invisible. Not only is it still invisible, they literally made up the computer generated image for what it looks like. That image of like all the crowns coming out from coronavirus, those points, it's a artistic rendering of something that they still have not been able to find. Man, it's very fucked up. Believe in yourself, and the world will fall around that and fall into place the way it needs to. But if you believe in something other than yourself, you're only going to experience things that aren't really meant for you. And you're just going to make them meant for you based on how much you believe it. We're out.